Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. Coming at you live from my bed, my favorite place when I don't have my daughter. um, I had all of these different thoughts kind of coming through my mind, and I was trying to think of like, how can I weave these together, and what's the most important part that wants to come through. I'm going into the third week. Well, I've done more than 2 weeks now, so you kind of settle into a certain place, a certain cadence. And I think that's one of the things right now. I've talked about, sorry, I've got a hair. I've talked about how it's like this is a recalibration. We're having to literally, I want to say slow down, but it's like we're actually literally being told to stop. And we've been on this kind of hamster wheel at this certain speed and this certain cadence for quite a while. And so it can feel jarring or confronting or uncomfortable when we finally are forced to just stop and really slow down. And as I've been talking about, I really feel like we are being called into a state of being. But I understand that being can be hugely uncomfortable. So I want to talk a little bit to that in a moment. But first, I've got so many different thoughts. One is it's just very interesting because it's like, so I woke up this morning. I didn't get a lot of sleep because I stayed up too late, totally on my on my watch, my bad. And so I woke up feeling a little bit, there was a little bit of an edge of sadness. There was a little bit of this, I could feel today, there was a little bit of, it was because of what somebody said to me. There was a little bit of this pressure that's like, I need to do something. And right now my work has really kind of come to a halt. Not entirely, but like one part of my work is just shut down and another part is slowing down because everybody's getting rejigged and trying to figure out what's going on. And I think people are financially really worried. So therefore, here we are. So I felt a little bit of this, like I should be doing it. Like this is the time I should be doing women's circles online. I've been wanting to do just a talk, an open group online, just to support people. And I do really want to do that. But there's also been this part that's really been kind of in aversion to that, or not aversion, but just like, just not yet, because I can really feel this very strong invitation to just be. And I was kind of a little bit like this before this whole coronavirus quarantine happened. I'm a little bit weird like that I really enjoy having moments of doing absolutely nothing and not even reading or writing, but just literally sitting there and like looking out the window and just letting my thoughts pass and feeling into my experience. And maybe my mind goes into fantasy, but it's just this kind of, if I can ease myself into it, it feels really comfortable, actually. It feels really relaxing. And I get that for some people that would create a state of anxiety. So I want to talk about that. I will. Hopefully I will remember. But this invitation to just, this wonderful that there's all these things being offered online. It's amazing. It's brilliant. And a lot of things too are all of the things that maybe we've put on the back burner when we've made money and work the priority. There's all of these beautiful things that we can learn and experience and try out. And, I've heard so many people go, wow, we finally have the time. We have the time to do all of these things, all the projects that we always wanted to get around to that we never have. And yet I also know that a lot of people are really tired, because when you've been going and going and going and you all of a sudden stop, it's like the body can go, there might be a resistance to that, but there's the real need for us to rest. And so I was thinking about how it's interesting that for the most part in our culture, we're not very good at saying, you know what, I can really just feel, I'm tuning into my body and I can really feel like I need to give myself a day of rest. Maybe I'm going to stay in bed today and drink cups of tea and read a book and sleep. we don't give ourselves that permission because that patriarchal voice is constantly saying to us, do, and if you don't do, you're lazy, and therefore you're not worthy. And there's that pressure. There's that, come on, you should be doing something. You should be creating something. You should be achieving something. You should be producing something. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. Come on, do. It's this nagging voice that we probably all have just because it's so drenched in our culture, in our society. And really the only way that we stop is when we're sick, when we're ill. So it's kind of interesting, metaphorically speaking, that this virus is going around because it's a flu, right? It's making people stop and slow down and rest. So if on an individual level, when we're overworking ourselves, we get sick as an alert, as a like, hey, you need to chill out. You need to slow down. You need to take care of yourself. You're pushing yourself too much. This virus spreading across the globe is like, you could say, a message to the collective of slow down. Slow down. You cannot continue at this pace. You're going to burn yourselves out. You're going to burn the resources of the planet out. Whatever it, this, the point is, slow down. Slow down. And, I keep on hearing this. It is beautiful that all of a sudden we have time to do what's actually really nice is more the artistic things, maybe even, that we don't get to do. I will say, I hear the people that are either working from home still or that have children, because when I have my daughter, it is nonstop. It's a full-time job. It's exhausting. So I really hear that for some people, they're like, Corinne, I can't just be. What are you talking about? I get it. So I empathize. But I'm also saying this as it's been a frame of mind that we've been in around this doing. And I think, again, this is an opportunity to recalibrate, to shift that, to value states of being more. And one of the, so people say, wow, we have all this time to do all of these things that we wanted to get done when we have time. But what if we just, instead of filling our time with more stuff to do, even if that stuff is beautiful and brilliant and creative and enjoyable, what if we didn't fill it with doing, but what if we just took the time to be? Like, what an amazing opportunity. We finally have time. And because we kind of can't do anything, we're here, we're stuck at home, we ain't going anywhere, there's no party to go to, there's no deadline to reach. Maybe for some, I appreciate. Use the opportunity to have time and just be with yourself. Don't fill it, maybe, just be with it. And I think also, I understand that then that also brings up a lot of fear for people. There's so much fear and panic around, imbued in the air right now. And interestingly enough, of course, what does that do? It breaks our immune system down. So what if we were to look at this opportunity, instead of focusing on the fear and the fear of getting sick, what if this was the opportunity to take time, which we're being given right now, and to take care of ourselves and to focus on our wellness? Like, wow, I finally have the time to rest. I finally have the time, if I don't have kids or if I put them in front of a movie, to spend maybe a couple extra hours in bed, to read a book, to stare out the window and do nothing. It makes me think of when I was in India in 2005 at an ashram. There was this really sweet, Japanese couple. And the woman got sick. She had a cold and she was in bed. And my boyfriend and I at the time were walking out at night and we ran into the husband. And we were like, how is she doing? And he just looks at us and he goes, she's enjoying her cold. And that just stuck with me it's just been with me the whole time, because Normally we're like, oh, I'm sick, I can't do anything, stuck in bed, I don't feel good, I have all this stuff I need to get done. We moan, right? We moan about it. And I thought, wow, it's so beautiful that this woman is enjoying her cold. And yes, I get it, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't feel good to be sick, but I've had the experience where it's like, if I just settle in, it can feel actually really good, because it's like you're finally giving your body the opportunity to rest, to detox, to process what it needs to process, to let go of it. We're giving ourselves attention, and that's a really wonderful, beautiful thing. So I just love that. So again, it's just like a matter of perspective. It's like, how can we see this as a time of wellness, taking care of ourselves because we're finally resting, being because we no longer have the pressure to do. There's a lot in it. I want to continue this video, but I'm going to do it in another video because I don't want it to be so damn long. I'm so sorry. So to be continued, okay? But I'm sending you love from afar in the meantime. To be continued. If you're interested, keep on watching. Bye.